Rock Raceway looked a lot more like Rock Ice Rink as the final round of the 2021 SupaDrift Series slid into town. An event that could so easily have been cancelled. Massive shout out to the fans for turning up and huge respect to the drivers who made the call after our qualifying runs to continue with the top 16 battle rounds. Spin Doctor Austin Kruger is definitely getting his head around drifting. His first event was the opening round here in September, where he got very familiar with the walls at the Rock. Oh, but this transition is just so tricky to get right in these conditions. Austin wouldn't be the only one. I think many battles are going to be won and lost right here. JUAN keeping it really tidy with a clean run heading into the next battle with a clear advantage. Now JUAN had looked really comfortable in these conditions in practice, and he carried that form into the qualifiers, emerging as our 5th fastest qualifier. Now after Austin's mistake earlier, JUAN could afford to run a more cautious chase, but he started closing up really nicely in the second part of this run. Austin straight lining there after running deep in the transition. But that is a massive improvement from Austin, but not enough to stop JUAN Lister's charge into the top 8. Our next battle saw our 4th fastest qualifier, Mike SKELTON, up against Rion Smoking Stokes, but there would be no smoke show from the 13th fastest qualifier in these conditions. Mikey leading it out with a really aggressive initiation. That the judges will love. And Rion equally committed. So a good start to this battle round. Oh, and no, just like we saw in the previous run, the tricky transition claims another victim. Rion just carrying way too much speed. A good pump of that left foot on the brake would certainly have helped him out there. So that's pressure off of Mikey, running it to the line like a qualifying run. Rion finishing nice and strong. So Rion's only hope is for a mistake from Mike with the switch. But with Mike doing the chase, all the pressure is back on Rion. Rion's on a really good line there, letting his BMW run nice and tight to the wall. Mike doing a good job keeping the pressure on. Oh, that's a much better line through the transition this time for Rion. I guess it is a lot easier when you are running your own line, not having to mirror the other driver. Hands down Rion's best run of the day. He'll be Stokes with that. But his chase run mistakes do see Mikey book his place in the top 8 and the battle with JUAN Lister. Our next battle sees 2nd in the championship ZANIL SATAR up against Mr. Rock, Tim Stevens. Qualifying down in 6th, ZANIL definitely looked like he was struggling with setup to suit these conditions, but had he got it dialed in for the battle rounds? Well, he's certainly looking way more confident and aggressive on that initiation. Tim trying to match him and losing it into that first corner. Knowing a win is crucial for his championship hopes, that mistake by Tim really does release a lot of pressure for ZANIL. Now, a man who knows every inch of tarmac, Tim will be desperate to stitch together a good run. But one thing you can be sure of with ZANIL, he is not going to give you any breathing space. Tim running a deeper line into the transition, cutting his angle and making the switch very, very tight, but he recovers beautifully. That line throwing ZANIL off, who ended up having to straight line there. Now, were it not for Tim's error in that earlier chase run, this would have been a closer battle. Good driving by both, but ZANIL's title's hopes are kept well alive with that victory. Well, definitely a David versus Goliath matchup as our slowest qualifier, Quinton Bannock, meets third fastest qualifier and championship leader Zane Hussein. Oh, you can just see the difference in confidence levels off the line and into that first initiation point. Zane is full on attack. Quinton pushing to try and catch up, something which is really tough to do with the low traction levels in the wet. And he pays the price. Such a fine balance between that right foot and accelerator. So Zane will use this as a sighting run for later, but a good job there by Quinton, finishing nice and strong. So Zane's not needing to be overly aggressive. A clean run is going to see him through to the top 8. Quinton looking a lot smoother into the transition. Just too aggressive on that switch again. Zane very quick to react there, so choosing to hang back initially, proving to be a wise decision. So it is into the top 8 for Zane Hussein, where he'll meet ZANIL ZATAR in what will be a championship decider right there. Oh, can't wait. Now this is the battle I really am looking forward to between Joey Govender and Mitch Mayer, who were closely matched in our earlier qualifying runs. Well, Joey is off to a clean start and Mitch is struggling to run with him at this stage. Trying to close that gap can easily result in a spin. Oh man, look at that insane angle by Joey into that transition. Nicely held, but a mistake by Mitch. That is what happens when you try to play catch up in these treacherous low grip conditions. But Joey really is looking on it today. So what will Joey's tactic be on his chase run? A better bet, I reckon, to hang back and just keep it clean. Oh, but look at Mitch absolutely attacking the initiation, but just too aggressive and not able to hold on to it. For a good chase in these conditions, obviously you need to be glued to the lead car's door from the start of that initiation, because it's near impossible to catch up in the wet. But then again, a mistake by the lead car and you just don't have time to abort. That's why we've seen more cautious chase runs in these earlier rounds, but I can tell you now that is definitely going to change as we move into the next rounds. High risk, high reward. But the cautious approach has certainly been the right call in this matchup, as Joey books his spot in the top 8, where he'll do battle with Jim McFarlane, who makes it into the top 8 on a bye as our second fastest qualifier. So into the quarterfinals we go. Jan van der Merwe booking his place after beating out Mozambique and Mehmet Akman, and going up against Jason Webb, our fastest qualifier, who went straight through to the quarters on a bye. Now Jason has just been on another lick. Nobody matching his speed and commitment into this first initiation point. But wow, just look at that. Running that Mustang right up against the wall and keeping it pinned there. Absolutely fearless, especially when you consider the damage that these walls did to his car and championship challenge in our opening round. But while all eyes were on Jason, Jan comes unstuck on that switch. A little too aggressive on the transition, trying to close up to Jason. But Jason only knows one way, and that is maximum full go. What a red hot run. Now we've seen how fast and aggressive Jason is on initiation, so this is going to be interesting as it is his first chase run of the day. He's going to be arriving at this initiation point at a very, very different approach speed. Oh man, just take a look at that. Jason is right up on him, glued to him. Without a doubt, our first real chase run we've seen of the day. But how good is Ian looking on this run? Showing massive composure under tons of pressure from Jason. This is unbelievable driving by both drivers. Yes, this is SupaDrift at its very best. But Jason Webb cannot be denied. Into the semi-finals he goes. This promises to be a cracker as our 4th and 5th fastest qualifiers meet in this top 8 battle round. With double points up for grabs, Mikey knows a good result could see him move up from 5th in the championship standings. But there is no such pressure for JUAN, who has really looked solid all day. Well, Mikey opens up a good gap with a really fast approach into the first initiation. But he runs a slightly deep line there, maybe carrying too much speed into that transition area, but recovering really well. This is a solid run by both of them, but the door is definitely left wide open as JUAN never engaged in that chase. Now it's really important for Mikey to get into this chase and put pressure on JUAN early on. This is definitely way closer, but Mikey tosses it into that transition. We saw him running deep in his lead run, this time just not able to catch it. Now all JUAN has to do is have a clean run, and he's going to go into the semi-finals, and he nails it. Oh man, Mikey SKELTON must be kicking himself with that mistake, ending his charge for a podium finish in the championships. Okay, so this is the biggie. First and second in the championship and separated by just 18 points. For one of them, the SupaDrift 2021 Championship title fight ends right now, right here. Now, as you can see, this is a championship decider right from that first initiation. ZANIL putting Zayn under a ton of pressure. The margin for error so tiny in these tricky conditions. Who's going to hold their nerve and their line? It's ZANIL who blinks first. A little mistake running into the switch gives Zayn some breathing space here. And to get back on him, ZANIL has to straight line. It's definitely early advantage to our championship leader. Now Zayn really can't sit back here. He needs a tight chase run. But ZANIL has raced into that first initiation, opening up a gap. Maybe that's his tactic, to get Zayn to play catch up and possibly overdrive. But look at that car control. Zayn letting his Nissan run right up to the wall and door of ZANIL, matching his every move and nailing that switch. This is superb drifting. But like ZANIL, Zayn is also needing to straight line here to get back on terms. But I think as an overall run, Zayn's chase has been a little bit tighter, and our judges agree. Zayn Hussein has one hand firmly on the championship trophy. Now mathematically, Jim McFarlane is still in with a shot at the championship, but he would need to go all the way and win this event like he did in round 2. Standing in his way, Joey Govender, who really has looked so comfortable and consistent in these tricky conditions. Well, as expected, Jim is off to a fast start. Great initiation and line, running right up against the wall. Joey just cannot live with our second fastest qualifier at this stage. But what? Jim tosses it on the switch. Man, that is really not something any of us expected to see from our super consistent Jim McFarlane. Maybe trying to push just a little too hard when he probably didn't need to. Is that the mistake that ends his title charge? Well, Joey Govender with another clean run and just one run away from his best result at a SupaDrift event. Now all Jim can do is pressurize Joey into a mistake, so I'm expecting to see him go pretty hard from the start. Well, not as aggressive on that initiation as we've seen from Jim previously, but he has carried great speed through turn 1, closing right up onto Joey, going into what is a tricky switch, but Joey sticks it. Jim over-rotating again a little bit and having to take a straight line to get back onto Joey's door. This is just superb from the man from KwaZulu-Natal, booking his place into the semi-finals. So it's into the first semi-final we go, where we have JUAN Lister, who really is having an unbelievable event. And standing between him and a spot in the final, Jason Webb. It is just insane how hard Jason hits that first initiation. Supreme confidence in the car and finding grip in these tricky conditions. JUAN knows that it's going to be impossible to match Jason through turn 1, but it's through the slow and technical transition that he can really get back on terms with the Mustang, and he does just that. Brilliant from JUAN, running his car right in there as the Mustang fights for traction. A little straight line adjustment, spoiling what was looking like a solid chase run from JUAN. For me, early advantage, the way of Jason Webb. Now this is way slow on approach, but that does not upset Jason's rhythm at all, as he sucker fishes right onto the door of JUAN Lister. This is just insane drifting from the former champ. Now, a strong result here to go with his runner-up finish at Desi could see him on the podium in the championship after what was a disappointing start to the season. Oh, we honestly have not seen anyone stitch together more committed chase runs today than Jason Webb. But what a brilliant event for JUAN Lister. These back-to-back finals for Jason and a third place battle for JUAN. So who will Jason meet in the final? Joey Govender or 2021 champion-elect Zain Hussein? It's another fast and aggressive start from Zain, leaving Joey in his wake to deal with a spray. And it's an early mistake from Joey, losing his drift right there going into turn one, trying to hang on the back of Zain. It is all focus from the Mozambican champ as he nails another run and goes one step closer to another final and another title. Now Joey can get to set the pace he wants to run, but that grey and yellow Nissan is right there from the start. That is a great line by Joey, but mirrored by Zain through the tricky transition and switch and into the final stages of this run. What a brilliant battle run. But well done Joey Govender, stitching together another solid run under immense pressure from the champ Zain Hussein. And a champ he is when he comes out in the final. It will be as the 2021 SupaDrift champion. Before we get to the final, who will secure the last step on the podium? And two more deserving and popular drifters you just aren't going to find. Both JUAN Lister and Joey Govender have really shone today in these tricky conditions. And it's Joey who leads them out, nailing it into turn one this time. JUAN mirroring his every move, but at this stage, just too far back to really make it a battle. But we've seen how strong he is through the slow transition section. Can he close that gap? Oh, but Joey absolutely nails the exit, getting really good drive out and into the final corner. So it really all is going to come down to how close can Joey Govender get to JUAN Lister. If he wants third, he needs to be glued to his door. Oh, this is definitely a lot closer on the initiation. That slightly lower entry line seeing Joey run right up to JUAN in mid-corner. JUAN doing everything right on his lead run, but he just can't shake off Joey. But oh, look at that. What a wall run from JUAN Lister. That will get the judges excited at the finish. So we'll find out who took that third place battle after the final. And it is a repeat of the last round in Desi. Can the newly crowned champion Zain Hussein make it back-to-back wins? The hard-charging Jason Webb definitely has a point to prove. Oh, what a committed run to the first initiation point from both. It's actually insane the skill level you guys are witnessing. To be able to harness all of that horsepower in the wet conditions, keep it out of the wall while still going door to door, this is superhero stuff. Oh, but how good is Zane on that switch? That is the closest we have seen today. Jason has looked like he really struggles to get traction and drive out of that slow switch, but there's a little brake check there from Zane, giving Jason some breathing space running into the finish, but Zane is back as they both push hard for the finish line. Oh, how close is Jason to the wall? Yes, man, this is a battle. There's Jason getting some heat into his tires before this final run. He knows what he needs to do, but all the pressure is off of the champion. He just needs to run another clean qualifying run and let Jason do all the work. Oh my word, how close is that? Did they actually touch? That is nuts. Jason literally hitching a ride into turn one. And look at how close they are to each other and right up against the wall. What a showdown for top honors and our season finale here at Rock Raceway. Just brilliant. Oh, getting too much rotation there, allowing Zane to unhitch the Mustang trailer. Jason trying really hard to get on terms with the Mozambican. But will that tiniest of mistakes cost Jason the win? So obviously this is a championship decider. We were meant to have run 2 rounds. Because of the conditions, chatting with the drivers and chatting with the organizers, we combined it. So these results were scoring double points. But we are going to award trophies for the Triple Crown, which in other words was round 1, which was here, round 3, which was down in Durban, and then round 4, which should have been the combined. So the winner, the top 3 in round 4 and 5, we've combined into 1, but we'll go through who those guys are. I want to start with a very special award though, the Wally Pappas Award. We've been handing this out at each of the rounds, and this is for the guy that was just super committed, came in here with a great attitude, and made all of us cheer and go, wow, this is brilliant. And it's also about showing progress, how far you've come. And it gives me great pleasure. I don't know why you called Buttercup, but you're going to win a really nice cup, the Wally Pappas Trophy. JUAN Lister, you were good. Well done. Up, up, yeah. Well done. Let's get into our results. I'll go 3rd, 2nd and 1st, and obviously there will be shared trophies for these. So let's start in 3rd place. It was a great battle between Jean and Joey, and it was close. But in 3rd place, my favorite Indian. Joey, brilliant. I think this is your best result, Joey?
Yeah.
In 2nd place, that was close, eh? Really, really good battle. For me, and I think the judges as well, he was the one guy throughout the day today that was the most committed at that first initiation point. Balls to the wall, flat out crazy. And luckily he never ended up in the wall, which is where he did in round 1. Jason Webb in 2nd place. Good, Jason!
Jump up.
Well done, Jason. Well done. And that means our winner getting the Triple Crown trophy and also getting our round 5 trophy. But more importantly, he came in here with a really healthy championship lead, and there was a great little battle between him and ZANIL, which was quite important for the championship, and he went on to win that. So it was really great to see him go out there. So easy once you've won. No, do some curls. It's so easy once you've won just to back out of it and think I've done all I needed to do. But a winner always wants to win, and that's what you did in that final round up against Jason Webb. It was brilliant. Zane is saying, well done.
Yes. Yes. Who's going to help this one? Put it on his feet.
So let's get into our championship. Quite interesting, because I think Jason, had you have won in that final round, you probably would have finished in second because it was that close. But you ended up in third, which is absolutely brilliant considering the throwaway round one that you did. Came back solid. In third place in the championship. Well done. Jason Webb on 399.
Well done, Jay.
I'm going to enjoy this.
In second place, ZANIL SATAR. Well done.
Congrats.
And of course our winner, Zane Hussein. Give him a big round of applause. 102-point gap between first and second. Super consistent. Well done, Zane Hussein. Brilliant.